Good evening, folks. And I know it's been a while. Let's get a quick update on the animal farm, couple little snippets. I apologize for the delay, but life goes on. Thanks for tuning in. Let's check it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming back to the crypto wave. Quick little update here. I apologize on my spreadsheets. As you can see, I was doing super good maintaining, and then I went on a little vacation, and then I got work, and then I had a couple days off, and so on and so forth. So it's been a little inconsistent. However, I knew I was going to be able to do this every single day. It just wasn't a realistic. It was not a realistic goal, I guess you could say, but it is giving me averages, which is what I want. And interestingly enough, for some reason, it didn't save what I put in here earlier, but that's okay. Today is currently the 18th, but it's just past midnight, so this is actually records for the 17th. One of the big things I want to talk about is he actually did, he meaning Forex actually did an injection. So there's a 200K BUSD injection into the pig pen. Into the pig pen. Whoops. Sorry, I'm trying to type around my microphone here. And then it was a 105K AFD buyback. So 105K AFD buyback. And then it was a 500 BNB dog pound injection. All right. So what the heck does that mean? Well, anybody who's been following me along, I am part of the animal farm. Actually, I've been trying to think about it, and I really want to try and start doing a TikTok too. Problem is I have a hard enough time trying to maintain YouTube, but I feel like TikTok might be a little easier. Short videos, do it each day. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But at any rate, I am in the animal farm. Anybody who's on my channel knows I've been going pretty consistent with my videos on this particular platform. I've been wanting to do some videos on some other things I'm in, and that is in the works. I'm trying to get work schedule modified a little bit. Hold on one second. I just need a quick drink. I'm trying to get the time to do some videos and some of the other things I'm in. But the one thing I've been trying to be consistent with is the animal farm. And the reason being is that the animal farm is designed and built for more of a passive income. You know, passive in the fact that you don't have to do a whole lot. You do need to interact with it pretty regularly, and I do. I'm on this site at least once a day, sometimes twice a day. I'm clicking on things, compounding, removing, and doing things at least every day. Sometimes more often, sometimes a little less often when I'm on vacation and things. But one of the things I've been doing, and as you guys know, if anybody's new to the channel, is I'm trying to get as many pigs as I can into this pig pen here. I've currently at, where am I at here? 49.13. Let's update that as we go. 49.13. I started back here at 42, so I'm up officially almost 8. Which isn't bad, considering I'm compounding and it's been going on. I've been compounding for October, November, December, half of January, so 3.5 months, gained about 8. As we know, compound is one of those things that builds over time. So as I compound, the value should be going up more and more often. It is going a little bit slower simply because, again, I have skipped some days, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to compound as often. But that's okay. Current pig price, $88. That is obviously down from the all-time high, which was just about 130 something. Yeah, right in here, the 130 range here. It is fluctuating up and down. When he does these buybacks and things like that, that definitely helps the price. But Pigpen is designed to be modified based on demand. In essence, there is a change in the emission values based on how much demand versus supply versus want out in the market. And so if there's more people buying, the demand actually will go up a little bit. So the emissions go up a little bit. So those who are creating pigs through emissions or other means can sell it at a little bit higher. If the demand really, really goes down and not a lot of people are buying, then the emissions actually restrict a little bit. So decreasing the supply that's out there. So what's out there has a little bit, consumes whatever demand is out there. But at any rate, it's $88. My goal is to keep building. And the reason I keep building is for this exact right here. And this is how much you're getting from the BUSD treasury. So we're at 1.66 right now, 1.6 million in the BUSD vault. 3% of that goes out to the pigs each day, dependent on how many pigs you have in here. So in essence, the short version is you take this value, you divide it by the number of pigs being staked, and then obviously based on how many you have, it'll tell you what you're earning per pig per day. Most recent check, it's approximately about 13 cents. There's other variables that are involved with that. Some of them are based on trade volume, such as this. So 192.8 trade volume. That's right here, 92.8. Some of the value is generated by how much trade is occurring. The more trade, the more the reward can go up. It doesn't go up a significant amount. Really, what I've been finding on my spreadsheet here is the two biggest influence as to what you're going to get per pigs per day is going to be how big is this treasury, and then how many pigs do you have. These are the two huge values. So what is the treasury right now? Let's go check it out. 1661,443. 1661,443. So last I did this, it was at 1.5 million. He's obviously done some injections. We're now up to the 1.6 million. This going up is key. As you saw initially in the very, very beginning, it was literally just dwindling. Unless he did injection into it, which makes sense because all the way up to this point, the farm was not functioning. There was no values being exchanged through dog pound, pig pen, piggy bank, all that kind of stuff. They had to actually get that stuff all active and live again. Since he's done that, there's actually been more green days than red days, or what appears to be more green days than red days. Now, there is still some diminished. Now, these turned green on mine simply because I unfortunately wasn't being consistent with it. So as you can see, it was 1.2, 1.27, 1.276, 1.4. It did have started to diminish. It eventually got all the way up to the 1.9 million, and then it started coming down. Even though it's green, it's because I skipped a day and I got to update my spreadsheet. It went down to 1.8, 1.7, 1.6 here, 1.5, and now here we are again at 1.6. So the diminish has been decreasing over time, and the more the site is used and the more pigs becomes in demand and the more people interact with the site, drip, dogs, pigs, farms, pools, drip garden, pig pen, piggy bank, all these different things, including the stuff that's going to be coming out later, that is all going to influence this BUSD treasury. The other thing that's going to be interesting is these injections that are occurring were actually voted on in the Telegram, and they're actually going to become automated. And so you're going to start seeing more regular injections. And I've already said it before, as you can see from this, if you have this continually going up with injections, I think it's going to happen weekly if I'm not mistaken, and that injection is on pace or outpacing, well, I'm going to say the injections plus all of the other revenue. So the injections come from the rehypothecation, but all the other revenue that maintains this from all the interactions plus the injections weekly, if that can make this slowly but steadily increase, that alone is going to continue to increase the payout per pig, which again is about 13 cents. We'll figure it out here in a minute what it is at the moment, which has honestly, if people are paying attention, will do exactly what you need here, which is it's going to affect that pig price. If that thing is paying out 3% and it's constantly going up, the demand for pigs should go up. Anybody who's in the platform will know it and will start buying it, and then it'll start spreading like wildfire. If it does not, no big deal. You keep accumulating your pigs and keep getting your piece of that pie. For me personally, I've been pulling this out every time I inject into it. I pull out what I have obtained. This is my profit. When I get this BUSD, I just put into my account and I do what I want with it in various other aspects. These pigs, I end up rolling back out again. I'm sorry, rolling back in again. And then we'll go into the dog pound here in just a minute as well. But my piggy bank is utilized to compound into the pigs here. So now the claimable pigs has been very, very low. There's not a whole lot going in there. 341.77. 341.77. As you can see, there's not a whole lot getting injected in there. This has just been going down ever since. I'm not sure what feeds this value, but it's really not a significant amount that's making any type of change. So where are we at? Total supply of pigs. We're going to go over here to the blockchain. 384, 166. 384, 166. I like doing this because I want to know 343,703. 343,703. I like to see, because this kind of gives us a good gauge as to what are people doing with those pigs. In essence, how much pigs are being locked up and how much is going to be out there circulating. So at the moment, since we've come on board, in the very beginning, we were at 81% lockup. And short of a couple of days here and there, it has been steadily growing to the point where almost 90% of pigs are locked up. Why is that important? Well, we've talked about it in previous videos. The more you have locked up, the less is circulating. So if demand does come, it's going to affect the price simply because there's not a lot on the market. So when things are purchased, in fact, I think I remember seeing in the chat that we're at a point now where $10,000 moves the pig price by $1. So every $10,000 worth of buying affects the pig price by $1. And somebody the other day actually bought $90,000 worth of pigs, and sure enough, it went up about $9. So it's obviously a rough estimate that's going to fluctuate based on liquidity and other factors, but this is just important for me to see, because I want to see this. If this starts diminishing, which basically means that people are withdrawing, so every day whatever you deposit in here, you can actually pull out 2% per day. So for instance, I can pull out 6.88 pigs at this moment. So whatever 6.88 times 88, 11, I would have that in profit that I could then sell off. But it would then diminish the amount of pigs I have staked by 6, thereby diminishing the amount of BUSD that I have in here. So I haven't been doing that. Keep in mind, if you do deposit or interact with this particular pig pin at any point, this resets and you start earning that 2% again. So it starts at 0 and starts going back up again. However, what we will see is that if we start seeing these numbers diminishing, then we know people for some reason are losing trust, needing to take profit, or something happened. And so we need to pay attention to find out, okay, is that just kind of a panic sell? Is that people that are just tired of being here? You know, what's going on, and why are people not rolling in their pigs and compounding? So far, everybody's been compounding. Oh, I can't say everybody, but the vast majority of people are, because this continually goes up here. So now let's find out how many. So number of pig holders. We like looking at that simply because we want to know if wallets are increasing. 13,338. 13,338. The more people who are holding pigs, the stronger the platform is. Simple as that. And then, so right now that puts us at roughly, according to my calculation, about 14 cents a pig per day. So what does that mean? Let's go over here, calculator, boom. So I have 49, 49 times 14 cents a day. So I'm basically making $6.86 a day based on my pig value, which at the moment is 4,300. So 4,300 gets me about $6 a day. It fluctuates a bit. I'm usually slightly over that because, again, there's other things that are that play a factor in it. Now it does say $44 here. That's only because sometimes, like I said, I don't compound every day or I don't interact every day, just because a lot of where I'm getting my stuff from is the piggy bank, which some of the values are too low and it's just really not worth the gas. So I save onto it. So the other thing we're looking at is going to be dogs. So price of dogs is 28.21. This is the main farm token. Total dog supply is 17,88170. 88170. In reality, what I do with this also, I actually use the Drip DeFi dApp Let's refresh that. Total dogs staked 956, 798. 956, 798. And what I'm looking for on here again is to see what is. It kind of gives me a census of what is the overall feeling of the platform. Are more people locking up dogs, or are people pulling dogs out? And actually, it was going up for quite a while, all the way up to just above 55%. And then it's been fluctuating around the 52, 53. And now I'm noticing it's kind of sitting around the 53% percentile, which means we're probably getting an equal amount of people that are continuing to stake and roll their dogs in to dog pounds and things like that, while others are indeed taking profit. And my guess is what they're doing is, as the dog pound, if you're in the dog pound, which is where you can stake some of your dogs again to earn BNB or BUSD in pigs. So for instance, I've earned $23 worth of BNB on the linear pool at the moment. My claimable pigs is about $3 worth, but this auto compound pool actually generates this down here, which is your dogs BNB LP. So I've been generating dogs BNB LP. But I think where this 50% comes from is it's been hovering around, because we're getting to the point now where the percentage, so I personally, as of yesterday, I'm at 77% tax reduction. In the very, very beginning, you are at 90% tax. The longer you hold it in that dog pound, it goes down. That tax goes down. So in essence, when you sell, you get more of that profit from the dog token itself. And so I'm about a 77. The lowest you can get it, I believe they said, is 96%, or no, 94%, I think it is. I think the lowest you can get it is a 6% tax. So some people, and I noticed it as we've been getting into these 50 percentile ranges and more, people are able to pull some of these out. Like for instance, this one in particular has an 81% tax reduction. I can actually withdraw that, and I'd only get taxed not 81%, but that would actually be 19% tax, as opposed to 90% tax when I first put it in. So some people, I think what they're doing is they are probably, as they farm, so for instance, we'll come over here, as they're farming these dogs, my guess is, for instance, we'll just use this one for example. You can claim this 2.1. Well, when you claim this 2.1, which technically is $61 based on the current price, but if you sell this right after you farmed it, you're going to get taxed 90% on it. However, if you grab this 2.1 and come over to the dog pound and put it into either the auto compound or the linear 2.1, so it starts reducing, you can then take out, I mean, this one you have to, I think it's withdraw all if I'm not mistaken. But for instance, I have one down here like this, 3.3. If this one was more tax reduction, I could actually stake a new 3.3. If this is reduced tax reduction, I can then sell that for better profit and never change my position in these auto compound pools and things like that, because in essence you're swapping a higher tax token for a lower tax token that's been sitting and brewing for a long period of time. And I think that's what we're seeing over here, to be honest with you. I think we're seeing, over here, we saw basically an equilibrium at this point where people are selling some that have been sitting a long time while replacing those with the new tokens that they're harvesting. So if they harvest 5, they're selling 5 with a reduced tax and putting that new 5 in for a new farm. So that is my guess, and that's probably what I'm going to do if I do eventually start taking some profit. I'm not quite there yet. I have some goals in regards to what I want to get. My last goal is to get both of these to 100. I've obviously surpassed that. I'm at 146 and 147. But I'm trying to get up. My current goal is about 250, so about another 100 on each. So I'm quite a ways from there. And really the point of this being is that I'm trying to earn as much BNB as I can on this, and as much pigs as I can. And when I get these pigs, that's where I, again, roll it right back over into this this pig pen inject in here. So Piggy bank, this is the other thing I was telling you about. So this one generates LP tokens and such. I had quite a few piggy banks on here. Unfortunately, some of them have got low enough where to claim, like this one's only 40 cents. So in order to claim that or compound it, it's almost as much as it takes for gas, which is fine. So I've been letting this build for a couple of days before I do it now. And actually one of the ones down here should be, oh, it's almost there. 3 days more for mature, 4 more days for this mature. Then all of those are mature except for these two, which are the ones that I put in for, I believe it was 3 years and 1 year or something like that. So these ones are going to keep on going. In the meantime, let's compound all these. I'm just going to hit compound all while we're talking here. The drip garden, anybody who's new here, I personally, it was a high risk, high reward. I am no longer adding or anything into that. It served its purpose while it was here. Some people made good money. It has a really good math and algorithm to it, but it does rely on new money coming in, and there's just not a significant amount of people that are coming into the drip garden. They may at some point, if Forex decides to do something that really rehypes it or something like that. I just don't think he will, though. I think it served the purpose that he wanted it to do, and in the meantime, it's just going to kind of keep slowly dwindling. There's a couple loyal fans in there that are sticking with it. But if you're new money coming in, I do not see a significant reason to go into the drip garden at this point, in my opinion. Where you want to kind of stick it is actually going to be in these farms and things. Speaking of farms, there's actually going to be an update later this week. If you're in a stable farm on Animal Farm, there is going to be a migration. So stable farm in essence means if you're in a USDC or BUSD pairing or USDT BUSD pairing, in essence two stable tokens combined, the rehypothecation is actually being utilized on the back end, is changed because it goes through the pancake swap, and pancake swap changed to something called stable farms or something like that. And so at the moment, anybody who's in a stable pair is generating things on this site, but it's not generating anything on the back end through the rehypothecation for those injections. So there is going to be a migration. It's supposed to go live, I believe they said Thursday, coming up. And so pay attention to the Telegram and all that good stuff, and go off the official announcements of Forex within that group. But that will actually be beneficial. The unfortunate part is you'll be able to migrate for free, but there is a fee to withdraw, which is going to be 10%, which I think is a little bit steep. But it is what it is. If you're sticking with it, you're sticking with it. I personally am going to move my stuff over. I still find this is one of the most lucrative farms at the moment. I know there's others out there, but I don't know if there's others out there that have as much planning and development going on in the back end as this particular one does. There's going to be a lot of things coming out. Single stake farming is going to be coming. There's also going to be, they're making a partnership with a bridge. There's some games coming out. Dogs Roulette, Scratchy, which he's been talking about. All of those things are eventually going to feed back into this ecosystem. So a lot of positive that's being built. There's enough income for them to succeed at it. I have no reason to think that they are not going to succeed or make do with the promises that they have said, because at this point they have delivered on everything that they had said they're going to do, which I think speaks volumes. So that is all I can think of at the moment. I'm just going through claiming my dogs off of my pools and things like that, and then I'll show you what I've been doing. In essence, I bring it over here to the dog pound. I see which one has less, which I believe at the moment is the linear. It's down by 1, which is totally fine. So I come down here, I click on linear. All the dogs I just claimed, we max it. Boom. Let's hit this real quick. My piggy banks are still compounding here. I hit stake. Boom. When I hit the stake button, what it'll actually do is it's going to increase my linear position by those 5.9 dogs. You'll see this value go up, and it will actually claim this BNB for me. And that BNB is just going to sit right in my wallet. And I'm just going to keep accumulating as much BNB as I can. The other side of things is this one. Unfortunately, it does not claim unless you go into it. So I'm just going to hit the claim pig buttons on here. Just that way I can kind of clear it out. And then once I claim those pigs, which isn't a huge amount, but I do have a little bit of dust from my last claim, I can bring it over here to the pig pen and max that out, deposit it. And when I deposit this, it will actually claim, it's going to claim this dollars right here as well as those pigs underneath it. So, oh, I just clicked out of the MetaMask. Hold on, there it goes. Confirm. Confirm. There it goes. So it will increase my position here once it goes through. In fact, it'll put me almost to 50. But it will claim that BUSD. Oh, maybe it already did it and I just didn't pay attention. At any rate, that is where I'll leave it for now, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully it made sense. Hopefully that's a quick little update. I apologize for the delays. And I apologize if I'm rambling, but it is 1 o'clock in the morning for me. But I appreciate you tuning in. If anybody you think would be interested in this, or if you have any questions, please like and subscribe below. Drop the questions in the comment. I'm more than happy to answer where I can. If I don't understand it, we'll figure it out together. All right, guys. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you again soon. Bye now.